first we need to talk about what shame really is. And I think a helpful way to do that, a helpful place to start with that, is by distinguishing the difference between shame and guilt. And I'm sure many of you have heard it said, shame is I am bad, guilt is I did something bad, right? So guilt focused on the behavior, I did something bad. Shame focused on the self, I am bad. And there really is a lot of truth to that. But where I have a problem is with people who say there's no such thing as healthy shame. I disagree. I think there is a such thing as healthy shame. The problem is unhealthy shame. And unhealthy shame is what we're really focusing on today. So I wanted to go ahead and get out of the way this caveat that there is a certain thing as healthy shame. That is not what we're going to be talking about today. So today, just for ease and simplification, when I refer to shame, I'm really referring today in this presentation primarily to unhealthy shame, sometimes called chronic shame, sometimes called carried shame. So shame in general, though, like it says here, is more focused on a negative evaluation of the self as a whole, whereas guilt is focused on specific actions or behaviors. This is a developmental issue. Just understand this, that earlier in development, one of the things that we're not able to do is separate us from not us. So I've got a little baby. She is now 6.5 weeks old. You know, at 6.5 weeks old, she really doesn't comprehend her versus not her. That will come on board soon. But right now, it's her. Everything's her. But as she develops, she's going to begin to distinguish, this is me, this is not me. Well, in the same way, to have guilt, we have to be able to separate this is me from this is not me. And to be even at a higher resolution, my behaviors are not me. These are my behaviors, they are not me. In that way, guilt is a more evolved, if I can use that word, a higher, highly developed emotion than shame is. Shame is associated more with lower self-esteem, higher depression, and greater difficulties in relationships. So people who feel guilt actually end up with higher self-esteem, lower depression, and better relationships. Isn't that interesting? And then also interesting study from 2011, shame is a predictor of infidelity. I'm trying to gear this webinar to where it's a little more general, has a little more general appeal, but let's be real, a lot of my audience is dealing with the after effects of sex addiction, whether you're the person who was affected by the addiction or, well, directly affected, or the person who was the partner to the one who was directly affected with addiction. It's just a high correlation there.